welcome to a special edition of the Twilight Highlight Zone podcast. I'm your host this time around. My name is Ben Hanson, and I'm joined by one Jeff Cork.
This is arguably the most special edition of the Twilight Highlight Zone podcast.
Indeed. We're both wearing tuxedos, looking out over a huge balcony filled with all the aliens you can imagine, a couple of guys from the Wild West.
Double-headed alien. You look particularly sharp. You look fantastic.
The Calumet, if you could just lean a little bit to the left so somebody behind you can see the stage, that'd be great.
There's Jack Nicholson with his trademark sunglasses inside, the old scamp. Not sure what you're doing here, but that's cool.
All right, so what we're doing here is we're going to be talking about Season 4 in retrospect, and we're going to be dishing out our awards, which we call the Franklins, which is in honor of the slot machine, which is kind of a Frankenstein situation. It's very confusing. There's a lot of lore built up on this.
It's not really that confusing.
It is a little bit confusing. Like, if this was like your first episode listening to this dumb podcast, I think you'd be very confused.
And once again, if this is the first episode of the podcast you're listening, you are blowing it big time. You're skipping ahead to the end.
All right, so we have some categories that are held over, a couple held over from Season 1.
Yes.
We dropped a couple that didn't really relate anymore. Yep. We added a few more that are specific to Season 4's episodes.
I think to our credit/detriment, we found a flawless formula early on. So it seems like we're not changing, but that's because we have just stumbled upon success.
I've been arguing that in regards to my life since I was 12 years old as
Absolutely. You hit your peak.
Really like video games and pizza.
You still have that cute haircut that your mom gave you, which it looks especially sharp, and your tuxedo.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. First category was recommended by a commenter named Zebra3.
Yes.
And he recommended that we add the category worst performance by a child.
That's great because I would have just said worst kid. So I think that his language is perfect.
Plus, we don't have to feel guilty making fun of kids because these people are old at this point. They might even be dead if we're lucky.
If we're lucky.
So, all right, worst performance by a child in Season 4 of Twilight Zone. What do you got?
I'm going to say that spunky little girl in The Bard.
Correct. That is also on my list.
Yeah.
We don't need to go on, but we will.
Let's just keep going.
You know, nothing really jumped out. I know you defended this performance, but I'm going to go with the mute girl in Mute.
I thought
she just looks frustrated the entire time. Talk about an easy acting job, by the way. You just have to stare at the camera.
Okay, I think that along the same lines, talking about an easy acting job, but didn't do much for me. It's JoJo.
Exactly.
On Thursday, we leave for home.
JoJo indeed, yeah.
Yeah. He reminded me.
Can I give you a kiss, Colonel?
Yeah, they basically just sat the kid down and said, okay, here's this episode called The Gift. If you could just do this Pedro thing, only we're going to call you JoJo.
Even he couldn't get through the gift.
Exactly.
Oh, imagine if the gift was an hour long.
Oh, good Lord. It would not be a true statement.
What else you got?
How about the daughter in The Parallel? I thought she seemed like she was okay. Like, it was kind of eerie, the whole, you're not my daddy. But every time she had to be a little bit hysterical, just a complete failure.
Yep, you're right. You got anything else?
That's it.
That's it for me. All right, this is a slam dunk.
Yeah, it's the kid on the Bard, right?
It's the kid from the Bard, the little girl who's constantly trying to come up with those real zingers. She's kind of going for like a spunky Annie type character.
I think I like Annette Funicello, like the poor man's Annette Funicello.
All right, that'll do. So congratulations, Bard kid.
Wherever you are.
I'll see you in hell. All right, moving on. This one is kind of also derived from the community. Like, they wanted us to do best unrequited love, and that eventually got shifted in category I thought would work, where it's like the lady that got screwed over the most, because a lot of women are kind of getting a raw deal here. Then I realized we should just change it to the rawest deal.
Yeah.
Whoever got the rawest deal in Season 4 of Twilight Zone.
The least cooked fate. Correct. Was the alternate title.
Yeah. So, start things out. I'm going to go with the lady from In His Image, who at the very end ends up having to date this stranger that's no longer a robot. Not even date, but be engaged. Probably going to marry this guy who looks exactly like her fiance.
That's a really good one.
Except he's a dick.
Yeah. How about the girl in Mute? You think about it, her parents have signed away her childhood for this weird little pact where she can only communicate telepathically.
Right.
And then they rip that gift away from her, so now she speaks like everyone else. But just that, how jarring is that entire situation?
That's true. That's a good one.
Pretty raw deal.
I have the other soldiers on the death ship, not the commander, but the ones that are not allowed to die.
Okay. That's a good one. How about that old guy that hung out with Kid Hitler in He's Alive?
Kid Hitler coming to Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, that was a raw deal.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Maybe he was just like, he knew his parents and he felt bad abandoning him, but he just had to stick around.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had to sit there, and Dennis Hopper would come in and flop himself on the floor and cry, and he's got to sit there and act like it's cool.
Yeah. What about the wife in New Exhibit?
Oh,
yeah. Totally reasonable saying, I don't want these dumb things in my basement. I can't do the laundry. Then she ends up getting stabbed by one and buried in the basement.
Yeah. By Andrew Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Son.
Sure.
Okay. And I think this one, when you think about it, I think is ultimately the Ross deal. Okay.
Oh, boy.
I think the Ross deal goes to Ben Franklin, Davy Crockett, Pocahontas, and all those other famous figures in The Bard.
Yeah.
Because they're basically summoned from the afterlife to help write screenplay treatments for this complete buffoon.
And we don't know how long they have to stay there. And there's probably going to be a lot of infighting. No one knows each other. I don't know how well Pocahontas spoke English. First of all, they have Grant and Robert E. Lee sitting next to each other trying to write.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt he's barely cold at this. And he's back.
That's good. Man.
I also like yours though. Your first one of the lady who just is falling in love with this guy.
Yeah, and she goes to his hometown. Everything seems fine, and
he's a robot.
Yeah, and just her life is shattered, and she doesn't even know that he's a robot.
Yeah, and then her new fiance is just a complete creep.
He's super into calculators.
Yeah,
all of a sudden. So, does her life being ruined?
But she doesn't know it. That's the thing.
Yeah. So whereas like the lady in New Exhibit knew exactly what was going on, but she still thought she was stabbed by Jack the Ripper.
Right.
Her last thought was about this wax figure stabbing her.
Right.
It's a pretty raw deal. Those historical figures, it's also a raw deal. So they can find no rest, much like the death.
Because imagine, William Shakespeare gets brought back, okay? And it'd be like, you're a carpenter and you get pulled back and you're like, here, help me build this house. And you're like, oh, great, whatever. But Ben Franklin, I mean, he had the almanac and everything, but like Pocahontas and Daniel Boone, were they known for their written work? Like what?
That's true. They could tell like what happened to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, is this going to span all of history? Is he writing like?
I want to know what he's writing.
Yeah.
I bet it's awful. It's a pretty terrible musical or something, but.
That's true. I'm okay giving it to the lady from In His Image, just because they try and spin it as if it is a happy ending.
Yeah.
And it just completely discredits her life.
It seems like even in the realm of the Twilight Zone, it's a raw deal because they don't acknowledge. They think that that's like a happy ending.
Exactly. Yeah. She's not with a serial killer robot. It's like, well, yeah, she's with the weirdo that created the serial killer robot.
It's even worse.
It is worse.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that one?
I'm okay with that one.
All right. Lady from In His Image. Congratulations. Yeah. All right. Cork, this is your category.
This is my category. I'd like to apologize in advance because I'm going to admit something.
Yeah.
I'm not too big to admit this, that I had one particular entry in mind when I came up with this category, and then I sat down and tried to come up with others, and I could not come up with any others.
Okay, so the
category is most out of place person. So like a character from an episode who just seems like they belong in a completely different episode, right?
I also had a really tough time with this one. I came up with Shakespeare.
Well, Shakespeare, yeah.
Okay.
That was mine too. No, that wasn't mine.
Okay.
Mine was the crazy hobo in Mute. Just I kept thinking about him just because it was a weird bit of comic relief where there was no levity in the entire episode except for this guy who had a really weird way of describing the directions to the Germans who came back.
That's good.
But again, I would like to apologize because I don't think we don't need to talk about this anymore.
No, let's
this
go
one
on, though.
wins by default.
I have the main character in the parallel because that's literally all the episode's about is him out of place.
Okay.
And then the one I'm a big fan of is the most out of place person in the Twilight Zone season 4 is the Jaguar from Jess Bell.
Oh, because it doesn't even seem like the Jaguar was awake for most of the shots.
Just poking with a stick right before the action.
Yeah.
I will go with the hobo though.
Yeah.
Let's go with hobo for most out of place person.
I feel like you're being like giving me some pity, but
hey,
I do appreciate that.
No, it's good. It's good.
All right.
Well, let's quickly move on
to
the most padded out episode.
Yes.
The most padded hour-long episode.
Yeah. The one that felt like if it was possible, it was even longer.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
All right. What do you got?
This title is almost, actually the first two titles that come to mind are really long. Of late, I think of Cliffordville. I think
Look,
pretty padded.
It's a bad episode. It's a bad main character. I felt like a guy going back in time to try and make money.
It's a cute idea.
Yeah, it didn't get boring. I didn't feel like. So I'm not sold on that one.
Okay.
I have No Time Like the Past.
Okay.
Which is a classic example. I remember we talked a lot about this, where like the first half is pretty quick and he's jumping between all these times and it's great.
Right.
And then that second half just drags when he goes back to the one town.
We'll talk about this episode in depth longer, I think, at another point.
All right.
But yeah, I agree with that. How about The Incredible World of Horace Ford, where he returns to the same sequence 3-4 times and there's nothing significant. He
That's
just
true.
Sticks
I
around longer.
I don't know, because that one, it's like two storylines kind of woven together.
Yeah.
But you're right. Nothing happens. The kid delivers a watch 3 times.
Right.
Back home. It's a good one. I have Jess Bell.
Jess Bell. Yeah, that's a really good example of that.
What
And
else
I
you
would
got?
say The Bard. I think it would have been possibly funnier and punchier if it was just shorter. They had to tighten up the jokes.
Yeah, I can see that. It's tough with this category not to just immediately jump to like the worst episodes.
That's true.
But I have one that I'm pretty passionate about.
Okay.
I think this is the one that felt like the longest episode of the season. I Dream of Jeannie.
Yes.
Remember? Because he had to run through
Those
all those different
dream
scenarios that just went absolutely nowhere. And then he's back to square one. Is just like this constant grind.
Yeah.
Is that a winner?
I'm not going to fight you there. I think that was a good one. Yeah.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
Most padded out episode.
I really like this category a lot, Ben Hanson. This is of your design.
Yeah, I was reading through my notes and there was a constant theme. So the new category for season 4, who can say if it'll carry on in season 5?
We don't know.
All right. Best death ship.
Yeah.
From season 4.
Uh-huh.
Surprising amount of death ships.
There are a lot of death ships. You don't even have to like stretch your definition of what a death ship is and isn't.
No. So there's the underwater ship from 30,000 Fathom Grave.
30,000 Fathom Grave? Or 30 Fathom Grave.
Oh, is that what it is?
There's no reason to escalate things.
All right, sure.
There is the eponymous death ship.
There's always the death ship. And just to remind people, which one is that?
That's the one where they kept doing the loop back in time to their own death as they tried to escape.
The sci-fi ship.
Yeah, they landed on the ship and they saw another ship and it would look like theirs.
Yeah. We have On Thursday We Leave for Home.
I love that one.
Which is the space vessel that they took off in, because a lot of people ended up killing themselves and dying on this alien planet because of that dumb ship. I wish I could remember the name of it. It's like Capricorn 1 or something. But
yeah. It's interesting because on that one, I was thinking about the ship that left. Because in a way, by him saying, take off without me, suckers, it became a death ship for him.
For him?
Because he was not on it.
That's true. We also have the Lady Anne.
Yeah.
Which brought all those old people off to their graves at the North Pole. Mm-hmm. Lovely death ship.
Yeah.
That was a pretty friendly death ship.
Yeah.
Boy. This is a tough category.
It really is.
You're tempted to go with the one it was named after, but those are just two guys, and technically they can't die.
There's 3 guys.
Well, yeah, I guess 2 victims is the way I see it.
Right. But
they can't die, so how much death is really on that ship, you know?
In fairness, that death ship is also a really classic UFO silhouette, and it has spectacularly stupid chairs, which I'm a huge fan of. It's got little windows you have to manually open on a spaceship.
Are we talking about the designs of the ship and not the situations?
No.
Okay.
But these are details that make me like it even more
All right,
as a death ship. And the fact that it keeps them from dying.
Yep.
Or it's probably the planet, technically, if you want to be a jerk about it. But
the ship is certainly
I really
involved.
like that death ship and death ship.
Beyond the spooky underwater ship from 30 Fathom Grave.
That's a submarine.
Whatever.
I'm just being a jackass.
Wait, is it? Oh, yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, because they surfaced news.
And
up
it is
top.
really is a UFO spaceship. That's technically a ship. It's in the name, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the ship in the Queen Anne.
Lady Anne, yeah.
Lady Anne, rather, yeah.
It's too friendly of a death ship.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one.
It is very clearly a death ship, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, no one's denying the fact.
No.
All right,
I would narrow it down to the 30 Fathom Grave or Death Ship. Those would be my two picks if I had to choose between.
Let's see. Death ship doesn't take any life, whereas 30,000 Fathom Grave, it's filled with death.
Yeah.
The ghosts leave seaweed when they come back
Yep.
to haunt, and then they manage to take that extra life at the end. Like this is a ship that keeps on killing.
Wow. Yeah, and there's the wrench, that spooky sound.
Spooky wrench.
It's pretty good one.
You
Should
gonna
we
go
do
with
it?
that?
Let's do it.
All right. Congratulations, Mysterious Submarine.
Yes.
You win. Best death ship of season 4. All right, take the next one, Cork.
Best twist.
This is a good one.
Yeah, I always like this one. This season, though, was a pretty dry one for me.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got In His Image.
Yep.
What do you got?
In His Image. Yeah. What? You narrow it down specifically.
Like, what about that twist?
Yeah.
I like that one because there's that weird sense of unease. Like, you don't know exactly what's going on for a really long time. Like, the guy's hearing voices, and, it's the Twilight Zone, so you don't know is it being, like, broadcast through his brain or whatever.
Murdering that Christian lady in the
Yeah,
train.
exactly. And then they don't go back to that for a while, and you're like, how are they going to write this in such a way that a guy kills someone and he's still sympathetic? Oh, he's a robot.
But then, yeah, I'm with you. But then beyond that, it even works better because of that weird thing where he went to the town and he kind of recalled some things, but it kind of like the town was 20 years ago, but not really.
Because it was like his memories implanted, like inventor's memories.
Yeah. And he was so fascinated that the robot, when he actually got to talk to the robot at the end, that he went back to that hometown because he's like, oh my God, what was that like?
Yep.
I can't even imagine what it'd be like to visit a town that was only built from my memories from 20 years ago, but it's currently standing.
I like that one.
Let's just give it to that.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing.
Yeah, because like the next closest one would be like the new exhibit, and even that's pretty corny. I mean, I think that this had some good episodes this season, but there weren't any like great twists. I don't think. Like
I really like that twist, the robot twist. To be fair, the old robot twist.
The old robot twist.
All right,
it's painful.
Next one is most likable person.
Yeah.
All right, I have Ernst from He's Alive, the old guy.
Oh yeah. Robert Duvall in Miniature.
Yep. Also, I will tip my cap to his entire family.
Yes.
For being so likable.
Absolutely.
This is a combo. I have Sloane and Benteen from Thursday We Leave for Home. Both I considered likable. I really enjoyed watching them.
Yeah. I did not like this episode much at all.
Yeah.
But I liked Burt Reynolds in The Bard.
Correct.
I thought he was such a great like Marlon Brando impersonation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have the old couple on the boat, the Lady Anne.
Okay.
The old British guy specifically.
Yeah.
But I think this is a slam dunk. Burt Reynolds, right?
Well, I also like the devil in Printer's Devil. Burgess Meredith does a really good job. He's like a really fun, exciting
I was with
character.
you because Burgess Meredith is super fun, except for the weird rapey stuff towards the end.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. Yeah.
You everything else?
No. I like Burt Reynolds a lot, but do you think that he's more likable than Ernst in He's Alive?
Yeah. I consider, not like genuine good person, but I consider most likable in terms of like most fun to watch in a way. And like I was the most entertained, maybe because it was a pretty short cameo, but by Burt Reynolds doing Marlon Brando.
Okay. And you like him more than Robert Duvall? You thought his character was...
I thought he was a fascinating character, but it wasn't a case of that I really liked him or that he was, well, I guess that performance is so good. It makes it super fun to watch. But
yeah.
I'll again tip my cap to the entire family from Miniature, but...
Can we do that? Can we give most likable person the entire family in Miniature?
Okay.
Just like that entire supporting cast and leave Robert Duvall out of it? Because I liked him a lot too, but I think by including him, that'd be even more of a cop-out.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm with you.
These are the Franklins.
The Franklins, everybody.
Exactly. Should we consult the Franklin board real quick and see if it passes? Do we have a quorum?
All right. So the entire family.
All right.
Congratulations. Oh, it's going to be so many awards that we have to print out.
All right. Now, you won't believe what's coming after most likable person.
Least likable person from season 4. I have whoever sang the song about Jess Bell and Billy Bean.
God, so many verses. The main dude from No Time Like the Past. The guy who hated humanity and there's their like poop down the poop chute heading into the poopy water.
Pretty good, pretty good. I have Mr. Bill Feathersmith from the Cliffordville episode.
Oh, that guy's awful. Horace Ford in the incredible world of Horace Ford. I'm surprised that person lived to be as old as he was in that episode.
I'll also tip my cap in a negative way to his mom.
Yeah.
Being very likable. I have Mr. Moomer from The Bard.
Mm-hmm.
The main character.
Yep, Mr. Moomer. Now he appears in 2 episodes this season. Hitler is in He's Alive.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also through stock footage.
That's true.
No Time Like the Past. Is that like the default winner, or do we just transcend in the Twilight Zone?
We have done this every Franklin's.
Makes you think about Hitler and his role in Twilight Zone.
And we have to have the debate where it's like, do we, for the sake of the Twilight Zone, like obviously Hitler's the worst.
Yeah.
Let's just put him under the rug. Just pretend like he just does not exist in the seasons to make it more entertaining. Because we really have a murderer's row.
Yes. We have a William Feathersmith in our midst.
Yeah.
And he is irredeemably bad. I think as a character, he's supposed to be bad, right?
Worse than Horace Ford.
Oh, man. Both of them are so
Mr.
awful.
Moomer.
Mr. Moomer is really annoying.
Yeah, but he's not unbearable to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
William Feathersmith has that terrible old guy makeup.
Yeah.
And that weird affectation when he talks. But Horace Ford is just the worst also. He's just completely unhinged.
Also, you could understand what was going on in the world around Feathersmith.
Yeah.
That made it a little more digestible, whereas Horace Ford just cannot follow that plot combined with him being an incredibly obnoxious person.
Yeah. Is it Horace Ford?
Man, but that lip smacking.
But Horace Ford, getting that tantrum he threw about the robot. The robot.
Wait. Oh, but the light up eyes and all that stuff?
And then he quits his job because he doesn't have to pay for manufacturing these robots, but he's in a snit because...
Yeah. All right, I'll give it to Horace Ford.
Yeah, what an
You're
asshole.
lucky, Feathersmith. You really squeaked by in this one, let me tell you.
Yeah, maybe next time you'll get a fob.
All right. New category for season 4.
Yes.
We have worst boss.
Yep. I would say the boss in miniature.
Yep.
Because the way that he not only fires Robert Duvall, but also pries into his personal life a little bit.
After he fires him, he's like, "Oh, you still living with your mom? You real piece of ass." Like,
it's super weird, dude.
Yeah, it was a weird one. He's not a great boss.
Yeah.
I have the commander of the death ship.
Okay.
Arguably a pretty bad boss if he won't let you die.
Yeah. How about the guy in the new exhibit who tells his like lifelong friend, "Oh, by the way, that you did a really good job of walking people through Murderer's Row, but that I'm closing down tomorrow.
You will never get to do this again."
Yeah.
People got to buy their groceries. But he's redeemed a little bit because he comes back and he tries to let the guy know that the statues have been bought and that they're going to Brussels or whatever.
And yeah, P.S. This doesn't benefit you in any way, shape, or form. Thanks for going into debt with that new air conditioner.
Yeah. I have classic Mr. Bill Feathersmith from Cliffordville.
He's pretty awful.
Yep.
How about the guy in the Printer's Devil who didn't pay people for months on end? Even though everyone gives him lip service about what being a tremendous boss he is.
Yep.
You're not paying people, that's a problem.
I had that down for a little while because it's like ultimately Satan kind of becomes his boss.
Yeah.
But that spirit lives on in the other one where Hitler and He's Alive, really the ultimate boss,
yeah,
kind of commanding this guy around.
He's super bossy.
He is pretty bossy for a shadowy figure.
Yeah.
I am the shadows.
And he hides.
Yeah.
He's a really bad boss. Or is he a really good boss?
No, he's not. I don't know what angle you're taking here. Because he hides his face?
No, he could be the best boss because he's got this guy wrapped around his finger. Like he's good at being a boss, right?
Oh, yeah. Even though he makes him do horrible things.
The occupation is terrible.
He fully brainwashes. All right, you just convinced me that Hitler's a pretty good boss.
He's a good boss in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Man, I'm kind of tempted to go with miniature just because he is such a sympathetic character and that boss just really does not help the situation.
No. Yeah, I agree.
All right, genuine, real world bad boss.
But the new exhibit guy, seriously, can you imagine coming into work and you do a really good job and then the boss pulls you in and says, "Ben, I just want you to know, what you just did today was great. Oh, P.S. I'm shutting down tomorrow, but it's been great.
Yeah. He got his comeuppance. He was strangled by a rope.
Yeah, by some guy we'd never heard of. Murderer's Row.
I think I'm going to go with the miniature boss.
Miniature guy?
Miniature boss.
All right.
You
I can do that. Yeah. Just because he had to bring the personal life in there. I think he could, if someone did that now, you could probably like sue him, right?
I would imagine so, yeah.
Yeah.
This guy really had quite the turn because this is also the cook in Real Martian, Please Stand Up.
Yep.
And he goes from the most likable performance with 3 eyes to just a real dick.
Yeah. Way to go.
All right, next one, dude.
Best title.
I love this one.
I like this one too. I like the best title, and I don't want to spoil things. Worst titles coming up next.
All right.
These are great because it's just simple.
Yep.
Valley of the Shadow. I like that one.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Death Ship.
Death Ship.
Effective.
Yeah. The 30 Fathom Grave. I like that one a lot too.
Pretty good. I have Passage on the Lady Anne. And I'm regretting it a little bit. I wonder if it's my Pokemon love that's seeping through.
I've noticed a biblical theme. I like In His Image. I like that for a title as well.
Okay. I have He's Alive.
Okay. Interesting. So what do you think? What are you leaning toward?
In His Image is a pretty good one. We could probably debate I Dream of Jeannie. I feel like it's kind of similar to last season. I remember we talked about Sing the Body Electric, and it's like, do we just know the phrase Dream of Jeannie so much that...
Right.
But neither of us even mentioned it, so that's fine. I lean towards He's Alive, because we talked about this in the episode, but just how effective it was, because you assume it's probably going to be a Frankenstein story. You don't know exactly what's going on. And then as the episode progresses, you realize, oh, Hitler's alive. It's a good, intriguing title.
I have to say that is one of my nominations for worst title. Because the second you see Hitler in the shadows, you know exactly who it is. The title ruins it, I think.
But if the episode was called Flowers and Sunshine and you saw Hitler in the shadows, you would still know it's Hitler.
Right, yeah, but I don't think... I just think He's Alive is just cheesy.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't do much for me.
Okay, all right. What were your other ones that you're gunning
I like
for?
Valley of the Shadow, In His Image, in the 30 Fathom Grave.
I got to tell you, Cork,
Yeah?
Valley of the Shadow I have on my worst title.
Okay.
Just because it's a cool sounding title, but I think a year from now we're not going to remember what that episode is. It does not describe the episode. It's like they did it because the place is called Peaceful Valley.
Right.
But still, it's a little too ambiguous for me. It could be matched to so many episodes.
Okay.
It doesn't describe what's going on in that episode at all. Weird tech and all that stuff.
See, I think Death Ship is interesting, but at the same time, I think that's another title that gives away way too much.
Yeah, you're right. In His Image isn't bad.
You don't like the 30 Fathom Grave?
No, I don't know. It's a little... I feel like if you had to come up with 12 names for an episode, that would be one of them. They'd be like, oh, let's just go with that. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing great about it.
Okay. What were your other nominees?
Passage on the Lady Anne.
Okay.
But I shot that one down myself, and you shut down the other ones. But In His Image, I'm totally fine with.
Yeah?
All right.
All
let's
right.
do it. In His Image.
This could just be our you win by default. In His Image. All right. Worst title. I say, of late, I think of Cliffordville.
Absolutely. And that was the one, remember last week, you were asking, like, I remember you said that one of them was the shoe-in for the worst title. That's it. Incredible World of Horace Ford.
Yep. That's like Mr. Dingle the Strong, just another loser name.
Yes. Also the one about the guy who became a senator, which I forget. Never mind. Time forward.
Oh, The Last Rites of Jeff Myrtlebank.
Yeah. And then also the actor one, the showdown with Rance McGrew. Remember they try and shove the name in there too much. Yeah.
How about Jess Bell?
Yep. Because
if you just want to shove the name in there it is. Because it's just like an awful pun.
Yep. I'm with you. I also threw in Valley of the Shadow, but we can axe that.
Yeah, I had He's Alive, but we don't want to get petty.
So really this comes down to, again, Cliffordville and Horace Ford, right?
Right. Or Jess Bell's really lame too.
It's lame, but it's just the setting was lame.
I think of late I think of Cliffordville, and I have not done any research on this title, so I could be missing like an extraordinarily common reference.
Right.
But it just seems like super long-winded.
Yep.
It seems like one of those poems that guy from last season would have told his class. Remember that It's a Wonderful Life episode?
Yeah.
And just the poetry was completely terrible. this reminds me of like a line from something.
Yeah, I'm with you. Of late, I think at Cliffordville. Worst title.
It's just awful.
All right, moving on.
Yep.
All right, good category here. Most Serling-y episode.
So by season 4, you know what that means. You mean it means like someone like he's written himself in as a character, or like his definitely an admirable philosophy, like anti-blacklisting,
sure,
for like anti-McCarthyism and that kind of thing, but very ham-handed, very
little preachy,
very preachy. What do you got?
Well, I got several.
Okay.
There's one that has a weird caveat, but I'll go on. Number 1, I have He's Alive.
Mm-hmm.
Hitler is alive in all of us. You just have to learn to hate the minorities, and he'll come out a little bit.
Right. Of late, I think of Cliffordville. I think it's another Serling-y episode.
Yep.
I think that one and my next one, if I could, just do 2 in a row.
Please.
No Time Like the Past, just because Serling has this thing for going back in time to a simpler time. And
so
it wasn't
much.
all it was cracked up to be, as
Absolutely.
it turns
out. I have Thursday We Leave for Home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you what Earth is like. It's
Yep.
full of savages that can't be trusted with the technology they've accrued. Yeah.
And I think The Bard was kind of his commentary on
Yes.
television. And
I also have The Bard just because it's just him writing about himself, except for the part where he didn't write it.
Oh, he didn't write The Bard?
He didn't write that episode. And no doubt he had some influence on it, but he didn't write that one. And so I don't know if it's automatically disqualified for most Serling-y, because I don't think it is.
It's a Serling-y.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Not best episode or most Serling episode written by Serling.
Okay.
I'm tempted to go between No Time Like the Past and The Bard.
I really like No Time Like the Past, just because it's just also a jumbled mess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it just seems like he had an hour's worth of clay to mess around with and just said, F it, you know.
Yeah. Also, like that dinner scene where they really blow up, where the one guy's like, "Oh, I think we should go over there and mess with the Asian countries and mess with the Orientals." And all that stuff.
And it's got that big speech.
Oh yeah, he really lays it out.
That's like prime Serling.
All right, prime Serling. No Time Like the Past. You win.
Serling tenderloin.
All right, next episode or next category, dude.
Biggest ripoff of a previous episode. And what do you know? No Time Like the Past is there, because we've got time travel, which, you know what I mean? We've gone back in time and tried to prevent tragedies from happening in the Twilight Zone before.
Right.
And then we have
the Lincoln assassination.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we go back to a simpler time, and it's not all it was cracked up to be, which we've done over and over again in the Twilight Zone.
Right. That's a good one. I have The Parallel and When the Sky Was Opened.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got?
And I think for the same reason, boy, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, The Incredible World of Horace Ford. I think that's another, like childhood stinks. Remember we had that episode with the newlywed couple went to the house and you thought it was the domineering mother.
Oh, right.
But actually, you know, he just liked being young, whatever. It's kind of like a weird play on that.
Yeah.
But also time travel, going back to the old neighborhood.
I can see it. This one's kind of a stretch, but I have He's Alive and Dead Man's Shoes. And maybe a lot of it's just the set where it ends back there and it's like, oh, you could inhabit the shoes. You could inhabit Hitler. We'll carry on to the next person.
Yeah.
You got another one?
No.
I then have I Dream of Jeannie and The Man in the Bottle.
Oh,
from season 2. Where it's like both Jeannie stories. One is much, much more boring than the other. One, somebody doesn't become Hitler in it, but it's just the genie concept being recycled. I like your No Time Like the Past. I'm angry I didn't obviously think of that one. And even though it's not relating back to one specific episode, it is just that classic culmination of so many themes that have been hit over and over again.
And it doesn't do anything interesting with those, I don't think.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, No Time Like the Past.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
I love this next category. This is always my favorite.
Biggest waste of a gift.
There's a lot of gifts squandered in this season, I think.
Yeah.
At first I was like, this, you know, it's a shame there aren't many. And then I just started writing them down. Like, there are a lot, actually.
All right, what do you got?
The printing press and the printer's devil. You're able to manipulate the future with this thing, apparently. And even the guy who's not the devil, right, is able to do it because he changes his girlfriend's fate.
Yep.
So he's able to figure it out.
Yep.
But at the end, they wheel it away like the Ark of the Covenant, where it's just put in some factory or who knows where they do it.
That's good. I have the technology from the Valley of the Shadow Town.
Oh, yeah. That's another good one.
Where they could completely revolutionize the world.
Ham sandwich on rye with mustard. Bring
so many guns stored in so many
38 snub police revolver. Yeah. Okay, here's one. You have access to Hitler's ghost, and he's alive, and he didn't consult the authorities. They could have
arrested a ghost?
They could have put him like the Howling Man. They could have put a tiny little shepherd's crook and stopped Hitler from being Hitler again.
From being Hitler.
Or still.
Yeah. It's good. I have the parents from Mute that died in the fire because the firemen were too lazy to go in there.
Oh my God. It's so hot.
Yeah, they just sat outside. And these parents, not only could they communicate telepathically, but it's hinted at that they, move. They have telekinetic powers, and they were able to move their daughter outside of the burning building. They just died.
Yeah. No time like the past. Time travel. And the guy just botched it. Like, could not stop these things from happening. So he's like, screw it. I'm just going to go to this completely lame period of time.
Gives up immediately.
Immediately.
Does not try and go, oh, maybe I should go a little bit further back in time to prevent this incident. Like, oh, who knows that I couldn't evacuate all of Hiroshima 20 minutes before the bomb arrived.
Yeah.
Go back years.
Yeah.
Stop the war from happening. I Dream of Genie, when he could have any wish in the world, and he just turns himself into a dumb genie so he could wear the dumb clothes with his dog.
His dog who was wearing a dumb genie costume as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more?
Man, I really like the printing press that lets you do whatever you want. Although, maybe was he only able to? Here's the question: was he only able to change? No, I don't care about that part. Oh. Is he only able to change that one story, like modify that? He couldn't start a completely new story
because that's the one Satan started.
Yeah, like he's only able to modify that.
It's a little unclear.
It seems like there's a lot of potential there, though, and he just immediately gave up on that as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. It can make the newlyweds fall out of that boat, so it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I like No Time Like the Past. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect to be given this one so many awards, but
yeah, time travel is just an amazing power,
and that he blows it so hard and then gives up so readily.
Yeah, or maybe the gift is this.
Yeah,
time travel exists, and the completely awesome dude who has to listen to the jackass who goes back in time is not the one who's going back in time. Like the guy at the controls, should just be like, you know what, just let me have a turn.
Anybody with an ounce of common sense could have blasted their way.
Maybe just a complete misanthrope shouldn't be the one who's like our envoy from the future.
Yeah,
jackass.
You want to give it to that one?
I think so.
All right, No Time Like the Past. Boy, it's amazing.
Yeah, these aren't all good awards, though. Let's bear in mind that if it's getting a lot of recognition, it's not necessarily because it's great.
You're right. All right. Okay, this is by far the best category.
Okay.
The category I think the most about. And this is the most aggressively mediocre episode.
Mm-hmm. Valley of the Shadow.
Cork, number one on my list, Valley of the Shadow.
Yep, that's the one that immediately came to mind. I was going through the list of the episodes, and I was just like, this was just an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yes. And I always look through to my scores, like anything in that 4 to 6 range that I don't really remember too well. That's the sweet spot.
Should we continue going just for the sake of?
Yeah, we should. I have Mute on there.
Uh-huh.
And I also have No Time Like the Past, but I'm not,
Yeah. I've got Passage on the Lady Anne. It was just kind of mediocre for me. And The Parallel was just another. This is Twilight Zone. Man, I really like Valley of the Shadow, though, because for me.
Yeah. It was, I mean, you look back on it, and a lot of pretty wacky stuff happened in that episode. It was a little bit stretched out, but it should have been more entertaining, and it really didn't pull itself up to the point of being beyond mediocre.
Yeah.
Which, like, with that much cool tech involved in a weird town, you think it'd be better. I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's the most aggressively mediocre episode of season 4.
Yeah. So if someone asks you, dear listener.
Yeah. No, not if. Next time someone asks
time someone asks you, hey, season 4 of The Twilight Zone, what should I see? And you just shrug and say, Valley of the Shadow. That'll do it. Perfect. If you want to know what season 4 is all about.
What it feels like to watch it.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
Worst episode.
I feel like we're going to rehash an argument here.
Yeah?
I put Jess Bell in there.
Jess Bell is there. How about He's Alive?
No, I didn't have that one.
Really?
I kind of like He's Alive. I have Dream of Genie.
Mm-hmm. The Bard.
The Bard, and I have Cliffordville.
Yeah, and that's what I got.
Did we forget about Horace Ford? I think
Oh my God! I completely forgot about that. That's the winner in my mind because I remember that was just a tangled mess of garbage.
Yes, I think we agree.
Just even bringing up that name, that's why it was. That was immediately forgettable and how awful it was, which tells you something. Yeah.
Yeah, no contest. I mean, I remember we agreed back then that like this is probably
it's just hot
the most
garbage.
Annoying episode and the least. It's incredibly confusing as well. And it's really a 1-2 punch to make it the worst episode of season 4.
I can't believe I wrote all those other things down.
I know. I feel bad for Jess Bell now.
Yeah. Geez, sorry, lady.
All right, best episode, season 4.
This is another one where I just wrote down one.
All right, hang on. Let me run through. I have one that you considered aggressively mediocre.
How about you go first?
I know, I am.
All right.
I have The Parallel.
Uh-huh.
I really liked it.
Okay.
One I liked a little bit more.
Yeah.
On Thursday We Leave for Home.
Okay.
Both good. And then I have Horace Ford. No. I have an episode called Miniature.
What do you know? I've written down Miniature.
You gave that a 10, right?
Yeah.
All right. Look, again, this is a pretty lame grand finale for the Franklins, but it's slam dunk Horace Ford worst, slam dunk Miniature as the best.
Yeah, and I think honestly it was a pretty aggressively mediocre slam dunk for Valley of the Shadow as well. It's not great when we get along, is it?
I know, it's really not fun. I mean, we got the best title and worst title. Those are our biggest jab, I think.
Jerkiest co-host, Ben Hanson.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, another season in the can, as they say.
Man, so now we have not even hinted at this discussion.
Oh my goodness.
How long until we start season 5? The grand finale.
The grand finale. Man, I'm excited for this last batch.
Are you excited to get it done with or just excited to see it?
I'm excited to see it. Good stuff in there. I've never watched Nightmare at 30,000 feet.
You've never seen that one? Oh my God. I'm so excited for you. It is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen like pictures of the creature because I remember looking that up because I remember liking the Twilight Zone movie version of the gremlin. And of course, I know the story, but I just wanted to know what he looked like on the show.
Yeah.
And it's super creepy in my mind. But maybe when I see him moving around, I'll be like laughing out loud.
I guarantee you're going to be laughing.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. But outside of that, I don't really know what to expect for season 5.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be shocked by how many we're going to have to keep in our heads going into the Franklins.
36.
36?
Yeah.
Holy cow. All right, so we're back to the 5 episode per episode chunk.
Yep.
Do you want to dive right in and just bang it out? Do you want to take a little break?
Let's dive right in, bang it out.
So no gap.
Maybe a week or two of gap.
Okay, all right.
Well, we got to watch 5 episodes. I mean,
yeah. Do you want to keep the long form structure?
Let's do what we did last, the ordinary thing. Did we do like 5 episode blocks, right?
No. But I mean, do you want to? I mean, this time around, it seemed like the community really wanted like the long form dissection of the plot as we went, and not like the sentence.
Let's do that then. Let's continue doing the long form. Let's do the long form.
Okay.
If people, it's not too late to change your minds, people. If you hate the long form, if you suddenly realize this, wait a second, this was awful.
Yeah. What am I doing
with my life?
Let us know
in the comments. Yeah. Jeez. So
whatever you do, don't unsubscribe, but just let us know
gently. Yeah. Just be cool.
All right.
Be cool about say, hey, long form was pretty great, but it'd be greater a little maybe short form.
Yeah. All right, I'm cool waiting 1 week. Let's lock it in.
Let's wait a week, okay.
1 week, and then we'll be back with season 5. And then, how quickly until we start talking about what show we're doing next?
I already know what I want to do next. We'll talk later.
Okay, awesome. Whatever it is, I'm on board.
All right.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in to season 4 of The Franklins. Thank you, all the folks in the audience for listening. You guys are great. We really appreciate your support. And we'll see you for season 5.
Twilight. Betty,
you're hosting. Betty, wake up.
Yoo-hoo.
Miss Draper. Oh, fat Betty. Did you ever see that video?
No. Fat Betty. Oh, no.
Look it up.
Is it great?
YouTube Fat Betty. Right now. Right now.
No.
Oh, wait. It's super quick. It's exactly as dumb as you think. There's got nothing to go off of.
Betty's so
Nothing wrong with the thyroid.
Better Penelope. Oh, that's great. I like that a lot. It's mean. That's okay. All right.
Check. 1 2 1 2.
All right.
Scream breathing. The
Yeah,
new therapy.
scream breathing.